Hello students, welcome to APG Pathsala. I am Dr. Sanjeev Sharma from Government College, Nadaun, Himachal Pradesh. Today we are going to talk on module Fund Flow Statement, meaning, importance and limitation of fund flow statement from paper Accounting and Financial Analysis. After going through this module, students may able to understand the meaning of fund flow statement, objective of preparing it, the format of fund flow statement, the steps for preparing the statement and limitation of fund flow statement. The term fund has different meanings. Narrow sense. In narrow sense, it means cash and the statement of changes in financial statement prepared on cash basis is termed as cash flow statement. Wider sense. In wider sense, the term fund refers to working capital and the statement which is prepared to know the changes in working capital on accrual basis is known as fund flow statement. Present figure shows the meaning of fund. The meaning of fund can be divided into two parts, in narrow sense and wider sense. Narrow sense, fund means cash, but in wider sense, the meaning of fund is working capital. Working capital means it can be divided in two ways. The gross working capital means current assets, whereas net working capital means current asset minus current liabilities. Every firm needs fund for two purposes: for its establishment and carrying out its daily operations. The funds needed for long-term purpose and also for short-term needs such as payment of salaries, wages, day-to-day expenses, etc. Funds or the portion of capital that is required for fulfilling the day-to-day operations of any business is termed as working capital. The maintenance of record regarding the sources and utilization of working capital is must. For this, every organization prepare a fund flow statement to analyze the reasons for changes in their working capital and analyze the inflow and outflow of fund over a particular period. Fund flow statement is considered more useful for long-term financial planning and for judging the operating as well as financial performance of the company. Such an analysis proves to be a great help to management, shareholder, creditors, investors, as it provides information that the balance sheet and profit and loss fail to provide, that is, the changes in financial position. As the name suggests, fund flow statement is the statement depicting flow or changes of funds. It is a consolidated statement of all cross transactions that affect changes in working capital of an enterprise over the period. By fund flow, we understand how the value of funds changes from their initial figure to final figure between two balance sheet dates, that is, movement of funds between opening and closing dates of the balance sheet. Fund flow statement is also termed as statement of sources and application of funds. Movement of funds statement. With the help of fund flow statement, one can analyze the growth rate of firm. The financial needs of the firm can also be assessed with the help of fund flow statement. And the sources of finance which can be used for these financial needs of the firm further can be judged with the help of fund flow statement. The present figure shows that fund flow statement is the statement of sources and application of funds. There are two parts of this statement. One is sources of fund and second is application of fund. Sources of funds mean inflow of funds, from where the fund will come. Application of funds mean uses of funds. Sources of funds include transactions like issue of share capital, issue of debenture, sale of fixed assets. All these results in inflow of funds to an organization. With the help of these sources of funds, we can know from where funds will be required by the firm or where the firms are required by the firm whereas application of funds shows the uses or where these funds, the funds which are required from different sources, where these funds are applied. For example, redemption of debentures, purchase of fixed assets. So the funds can be utilized for these purposes. Flow of fund. The changes in fund can be interpreted in two directions. Funds following inward, inflow, or funds flowing out of the organization, outflow. Inflow or sources of funds. If any change in the fund account value results in addition of that fund, it is termed as inflow of the funds. An increase in equity share capital, increase in reserve, decrease in value of fund assets, etc. would result into an inflow. Outflow or application of fund. If the changes in fund account value results in reduction in funds, it is termed as outflow of funds. An increase in value of fixed assets, decrease in liability, increase in reserves are result into an outflow. Outflow means application of funds. And no flow of funds. No, some of transactions may not bring any change in the fund position of the organization. Such transactions are involved within business concern. For example, conversion of shares into debenture. When shares are converted into debentures, there will be no inflow or outflow of the funds. Further, when machinery is purchased by making the payment in shares, there will also no flow of fund. This figure shows the flow of funds. It is revealed from the figure that flow of fund can be divided into three parts. First is inflow, second is outflow, and third is no flow of funds. Inflow of funds is also known as sources of funds, and outflow of funds is known as application of funds. Inflow of funds results in an addition in the funds, whereas outflow of funds results in reduction in funds. As far as no flow of funds is concerned, it not bring any change in the fund position. So the examples of inflow of funds are issue of share capital, issue of debentures, purchase, sale of fixed assets, fund from operations, whereas examples of outflow of funds are redemption of debentures, purchase of fixed assets, fund lost in operation. As far as no flow of fund is concerned, its example are purchasing machinery by making the payment in shares, transfer to reserves. So the flow of funds makes clear that there are three types of flow: inflow, outflow, or no flow of the funds. Now, what are the different objectives of preparing the fund flow statement? It is clear from the figure that the fund flow statement is prepared with the objective to reveal the correct sources and application of funds, to find out sources from where funds are generated, to help the management, and to know the exact amount of fund utilization. These are the main objectives of preparing a fund flow statement. That knowledge of correct sources and applications of funds, further it helps the management in taking various decisions. Let us discuss what are the objectives of preparing a fund flow statement. A fund flow statement is prepared keeping in mind the following objectives: to reveal the correct source and application of funds. Fund flow statement is prepared so as to find out from where exactly the funds are coming in and organization, that is sources of funds, and whether the acquired funds are being utilized properly with adequate consideration or not. To find out the sources from where funds are generated, it is made to reveal that how much funds is collected by disposing fixed asset, how much by issuing shares or debentures, how much from operating activities, and how much from loan, etc. To help the management, an analysis done on the basis of fund flow statement proves to be an important tool in the hands of management as it helps them to prepare budgets, formulate policies that will be adopted for future activities, and to judge the financial position of the firm. To know the exact amount of fund utilization. The exact amount of fund utilization or funds being utilized or used up is revealed from the preparation of fund flow statement. It becomes easy to find out how much have been used in acquiring fixed asset, how much for repaying loans, how much is used for paying taxes, how much is used for paying dividends, etc. The general rules for preparing fund flow statements. It is important to have the knowledge of general rules which should be followed by preparing the fund flow statement. While preparing fund flow statement, these general rules help in deciding whether there is an inflow of funds or outflow of funds. Main rules are: an increase in net current asset result into decrease in working capital, it is called outflow. Decrease in non-current asset means increase in working capital, that is inflow of funds. Increase in non-current liabilities results in an increase in working capital, and decrease in working capital results into decrease in working capital. The changes in non-current asset and liabilities affect working capital. It makes clear that the changes which are taking place in non-current assets are going to affect the working capital. These are shown with the help of a figure also. It is clear from the figure that increase in non-current asset result in decrease in working capital. Decrease in non-current asset results in increase in working capital. It means working capital is reacting in opposite direction, whereas in case of non-current liabilities, increase in non-current liabilities results in decrease of working capital, and decrease in non-current liabilities results in decrease in working capital. Steps which are used for preparation of fund flow statement are shown in the present figure. Figure makes clear that there will be 3 steps. Firstly, fund from operation is prepared. Secondly, statement of changes in working capital, and lastly, the fund flow statement is prepared. Why preparing fund from operation statement? Fund from operation or fund lost in operation is calculated, and with the help of preparing working capital statement, net increase or decrease in working capital is calculated, and lastly, with the help of all the changes which has taken place in the funds between 2 balance sheets, fund flow statement is prepared. Steps in preparing a fund flow statement. Following steps are involved in the fund flow statement preparation. First of all, fund from operation is calculated by looking at the balance sheet figure of 2 dates. Firstly, a statement depicting fund from operation is prepared. It is prepared by adding non-fund, non-operating items already debited to profit and loss account to the closing balance of profit and loss account, and then subtracting the non-fund or non-operating items already credited to profit and loss account. The statement of changes in working capital is then prepared, after which the statement of changes in working capital, the items are grouped up under the heads current asset and current liabilities, and changes in working capital is stated individually for each item, and then the current asset and current liabilities are summed up, after which their difference is calculated to reveal the net increase or net decrease in working capital. Preparation of fund flow statement is the last step in preparation of fund flow statement, depicting sources of funds on the left hand side and application of funds on right hand side. The format of fund flow statement is discussed in this figure. There are 2 types of format. One is in statement form and second is in T form. The format of fund flow statement in statement form
The statement form of fund flow statement is given here. It is divided into two parts. A part is related with sources of funds and B part is related with application of funds. Sources of funds include fund from operation, sale of fixed assets, issue of debentures, long-term borrowings, and issue of shares. Whereas application of funds include loss from business operations, a fund lost in operations, payment of dividend, payment of tax, redemption of debentures, redemption of preference shares, purchase of fixed asset, payment of long-term loans, and by deduct with the help of comparison of sources and application, we will have the knowledge of net increase or net decrease in the working capital. So final product or output of fund flow statement is net increase or net decrease in the working capital. Because this statement is prepared to know the position of working capital, to know the changes, because funds mean the working capital. So this statement is prepared to know the changes in working capital. Format of fund flow statement in T form is given here. There are two sides. One is sources of funds or inflow of funds, and second side is application of funds or outflow of funds. Sources side include fund from business operations, sale of fixed assets, issue of debentures, long-term borrowings, issue of shares, whereas application side include loss from business operations, payment of dividend, payment of tax, redemption of debenture, redemption of preference shares, purchase of fixed assets, payment of long-term loans, net increase in working capital or net decrease in working capital, the balancing figure. This is the balancing figure of the statement of fund flow statement, because this statement is prepared to know what is happening to working capital, whether working capital requirements are increasing or decreasing. Importance of fund flow statement. Through financial statement reveal the financial strength of enterprise. Sometimes they are not enough for taking tough decisions for long-term survival. In such a case, fund flow statement is required so that by looking at the balance sheet values for 2 years, the management can find out the exact sources of funds and also reveal that where the funds are being utilized. Moreover, the fund flow statement analysis management can easily find out that if working capital is available in adequate amount or not. The importance of fund flow statement is shown in present slide. It is clear from the figure that fund flow statement is helpful in making realistic dividend policy, proper resource allocation, serves as future guide. It reveals changes in working capital, depict firm ability, helps in taking decision before investing, analyzing financial position, and it is a tool of communication with outside world. All this shows that the financial statement is very much important for any organization, and it should be prepared to know the changes which are taking place in the financial position of the organization between two balance sheets.
Realistic dividend policy. Despite of having surplus profits, a firm may not able to position to pay off its dividend due to lack of liquid resources. Here, fund flow statement helps in deciding as to from where the funds should be used up so as to pay dividend. Proper resource allocation. Every enterprise faces a problem of limited resources, and so it tries efficiently utilize its available resources to the best possible manner. Fund flow statement helps to decide about the proper allocation of business resources in a best possible manner.
Serves as future guide. Fund flow statement serves as a future guide for the management. That is, the future needs of the funds for the various purposes can be known well in advance. The future financial problem that might creep in working of business can be avoided by keeping up the funds flows statement and arranging funds for future beforehand. reveals changes in working capital. It reveals changes in working capital of a firm as it depicts the inflow and outflow of the funds and calculates the changes in working capital by subtracting the amount of inflow and outflow. Depicting firm's ability. The firm's ability to pay interest, dividend, and pay debts when become due can be revealed using a fund flow statement. Also, its ability to generate long-term financing is revealed. Helps in taking decisions before investing. It helps the investor to determine about how the company has utilized the funds invested by them in the company, and moreover by analyzing the past and present value and their changes, the investors can identify, discover potential drains or funds in the near future, whether to invest in the company or not. Analyzing the financial position. The importance of fund flow statement lies in the fact that it helps to analyze the strength and weakness and the financial operations of the firm. It reveals how the funds are obtained and used in the past and how it impacted the firm's liquidity, on the basis of which proper steps can be taken in the present and corrective actions can be applied in order to avoid any past mistakes. Tool for communication with outside world. Fund flow statement help in gathering information about financial affairs of company and communicate it to the outside world. It provides information to the bankers, creditors, government regarding the amount of loan required and terms of repayment of loan. Limitations of fund flow statement are shown in the present slide. It is clear from the figure that it is not able to present a continuous changes. Fund flow statement is not a substitute of financial statements. It cannot be used all alone. Not a reveal cash position. It is historic in nature. It lacks originality. Not able to present a continuous change. A fund flow statement is not able to present a continuous change in financial activities including working capital changes. It is not substitute of financial statement. It only highlights the changes in working capital which is dependent upon data presented by the financial statements. Cash flow statement, that is changes in cash position, seems to be more important as compared to changes in working capital. Fund flow statement has to be used along with the financial statements and it cannot be used all alone. Fund flow statement does not reveal cash position. It is historic in nature, that is revealed what had happened in past only and does not tell about the future. Only presumption regarding future can be drawn out, which might prove to be wrong. Lacks originality as it is just a rearrangement of data given in financial statement. Hence, some companies avoid preparing fund flow statement.
So students, let us now summarize what we have learned in this module. Organizational work for generation of funds that can be used for long term as well as short term. The money generation may be result of either cash flow or cash outflow. Inflow mean when there is increase in amount of funds, whereas outflow refers to decrease in amount of funds. Sometimes there may be cases of no flow, which means that some transactions may not bring any change in fund position. Such transactions are involved within business concern. For example, conversion of shares into debenture, machinery purchased and payment is made in share. Funds in a broad sense mean working capital, and statement prepared to record the changes in working capital is termed as fund flow statement. Fund flow statement means changes in value of funds depicting the sources from where funds are generated and application of funds depicting where funds are used. Fund flow statement is often prepared with the objective to reveal correct sources from where funds are generated as well as application of funds where they are used up. Also, it is prepared with the objective of helping the management in preparing budgets, formulating policies, and judging financial position of the firm. There are two formats available for preparation of fund flow statement: statement form and T form. Preparing these statements has many benefits, such as it serves as a future guide, reveals the changes in working capital, provides exactly where the funds are being used, helps in analyzing financial position of the firm, serves as a tool of communication with outside world. Fund flow statement is affected by some of the limitation as it lacks originality, cannot be used alone, has to be used along other financial statements, and is historic in nature and tells about the past activities only. Despite of its limitation, firms present fund flow statement either on quarterly, half-yearly or annual basis and try to analyze the sources and application of the funds in the firm. Thank you.